Welcome again to the lecture series of signals and systems. In the last lecture, we have seen how to apply the initial and final value theorems and get the initial and final values of a given signal. Also, we have seen some limitations on the final value theorem, that if the pole lies to the right of the S plane, we cannot apply the final value theorem there. So I think we have seen sufficient examples regarding to initial and final value theorems. In this lecture, we will include the examples based on the inverse Laplace transform, and also, if time permits, we will go to the solution of the differential equations by using this important tool, Laplace transform. So we will include very first examples to elaborate the concept of inverse Laplace transform. We know the formula to get the inverse Laplace transform. If the Laplace transform of x of t is equal to x of s, then we can find the signal x of t back from the x of s by using this relation. X of t is equal to 1 by 2 pi j sigma minus j infinite to sigma plus j infinite x of s e power plus st ds. We can use this formula to get the xt back, but to apply the inverse, to get the x of t back from x of s, we will never use this formula. We will use only the properties of the Laplace transform to get the xt back from the given x of s, which is called inverse Laplace transform. As the first example says, that if x of s is equal to 1 upon s plus 2 whole square, then what will be the signal in time domain? Signal in s domain is given. This is the Laplace transform of x of t. Then what will be x of t? So here we can apply the shifting in S domain property, which states that if the Laplace transform of x of t is x of s, then the Laplace transform of e power minus 2t x of t will be equal to x of s plus 2. So here in place of s square, it is written here s plus 2 square. It means that in the time domain, the signal must be multiplied by e power minus 2t. So if I will apply this property, then Laplace transform of inverse Laplace transform of 1 upon s plus 2 whole square will be equal to e power minus 2t inverse Laplace transform of 1 upon s square. Because if in the time domain we will multiply with e power minus 2t, then this will be shifted and become 1 upon s plus 2 whole square. Now we know that the Laplace transform of t is equal to Laplace transform of t times ut is equal to 1 upon s square, and Laplace transform of t power n un ut is equal to factorial n upon s power n plus 1. By using this relation, we can say that this is the Laplace transform of t. So this will become t e power minus 2t into t ut. This is the signal in time domain for which the Laplace transform is given as 1 upon s plus 2 whole square. The next question is we have to get the inverse Laplace transform if x of s is given as x of s is given as 1 upon s plus 1 square plus 1. Again, we will check if there is a addition or subtraction with s. It means that the signal is shifted in the s domain. That implies that the signal should be multiplied in the time domain with e power something. So this is s plus 1 square. It means that the signal must be multiplied in time domain with e power minus t. So Laplace inverse of 1 upon s plus 1 square plus 1 will be equal to e power minus t Laplace inverse of 1 upon s square plus 1. This is again the shifting property in s domain of the Laplace transform. So, and this, from this we can say that the Laplace transform of sine omega t is known to us, which is equal to omega upon s square plus omega square, and Laplace transform of cos of omega t ut is equal to s upon s square plus omega square. By comparing these two, we can convert this into either sine function, or we can convert this either it is in cos function. If s is in the numerator, we will convert this into the cos. If there is a constant only in the numerator, that means it will be converted to the sine, where omega is equal to 1. If we will put omega equal to 1 in this equation, this will become 1 upon s square plus 1 square. So this will become sine of 1t. It means that the given equation can be written as inverse Laplace transform of 1 upon s square plus 1 can be written as sine t ut. This is the signal in time domain for which the Laplace transform is given. The next example is x of s is given as s upon s plus 2 square plus 1. In the next example, it says that x of s is given as s upon s plus 2 square. Then we will include further terms in the coming examples. So, if the first of all in the denominator 2 is added to the s, it means that, or we can convert this formula as add 2 in the numerator and subtract 2, so that in the numerator we will get s plus 2 as it is given in the denominator. So this will become x of s is equal to s plus 2 minus 2 divided by s plus 2 square. This can be written in this way, or further we can write it as separate this, and this can be written as 1 upon s plus 2 1 upon s plus 2 minus 2 upon s plus 2 square, or simply we can write the Laplace inverse of these two terms separately as 1 upon s plus 2 minus Laplace inverse of 2 upon s plus 2 square. Or further we can, this is the Laplace transform of e power minus 2t. So this will become equal to e power minus 2t ut minus, again there is a shifting because 2 is added to the s. So this can be written as e power minus 2t into Laplace inverse of 1 upon 2 upon s square. Again further this x of t can be written as e power minus 2t u of t minus, this will be equal to e power minus 2t into 2 times t ut, or we can simply take the e power minus 2t ut common. This will become e power minus 2t 1 minus 2t u of t. This will be the signal in the time domain for which the Laplace transform is given. The next one is s upon s plus 2 whole square plus 1. The next Laplace transform of a signal xt is given as s upon s plus 2 whole square plus 1. Again it is a similar case as in the denominator it is written s plus 2 whole square. If somehow we will get s plus 2 in the numerator also, it means that we can multiply with e power minus 2t in the time domain. To get, to apply the shifting in s domain property, we have to add 2 in the numerator and we have to subtract 2 from the numerator. After addition and subtraction, this will become s plus 2 minus 2 upon s plus 2 whole square plus 1. Further, this term can be decomposed as s plus 2 upon s plus 2 whole square plus 1 minus 2 upon s plus 2 whole square plus 1. Now to find the x of t, we have to get the inverse Laplace transform of these two terms separately. So x of t will be equal to Laplace inverse of s plus 2 upon s plus 2 square plus 1 minus 2 times Laplace inverse of 1 upon s plus 2 square plus 1. Or again the same case arises here. There is a shifting in the s domain. It means that the signal in the time domain should be multiplied by e power something. So I will multiply here with e power minus 2t. So this will become e power minus 2t Laplace inverse of, now 2 will be removed from here, so this will become s upon s square plus 1 minus 2 times e power minus 2t again here 1 upon s square plus 1. Again this formula can be compared with the Laplace transform of cos of omega t, and Laplace transform of cos of omega t ut is equal to s upon s square plus omega square, and Laplace transform of sine of omega t ut is equal to omega upon s square plus omega square. So if we compare this term with this term, this will gives omega is equal to 1, and if we compare this to this again, this will give omega is equal to 1. It means that this is the Laplace transform of cos of t and this is the Laplace transform of sine of t. So I will replace these two with their inverse Laplace transforms, which is equal to e power minus 2t. Here it is cos of t u of t minus 2 times e power minus 2t sine of t u of t. Or again we can find common here e power minus 2t and e power minus 2t here. So this will become e power minus 2t cos of t minus 2 sine of t into u of t. This is the signal in the time domain for which the Laplace transform is given as s upon s plus 2 whole square plus 1. By using the properties only, we can find out the inverse Laplace transform of these given signals. The next one is s upon s minus b whole square plus a square. The next example is given as Laplace transform of a signal xt is given as s upon s minus b whole square plus a square. This is how the Laplace transform of a signal xt is given as, and we have to get the signal xt back by using the properties of the Laplace transform. To get the signal xt back, we have to take the inverse Laplace transform. So x of t will be equal to Laplace inverse of x of s, which will be equal to Laplace inverse of s upon s minus b whole square plus a square. So again here there is a subtraction from s which is written as s minus b, and if somehow we will get s minus b here in the numerator also, we can multiply with e power minus bt in the time domain of the signal, because here is a shifting in the s domain. So to multiply the signal in the time domain with e power bt, there should also be a shift in the numerator also, because s is also given here. So there should also be a shift in this s also. To get that, we have to subtract b and we have to add b in the numerator of the given signal in the time domain. So this will become Laplace inverse of s minus b plus b upon s minus b whole square plus a square. Now this term further can be decomposed as L inverse of s minus b upon s minus b square plus a square plus Laplace inverse of b upon s minus b square plus a square, or this can be written as, because there is a shifting here in the numerator and denominator, in the s of the denominator and numerator both, it means that this function in the time domain now can be multiplied with e power bt, Laplace inverse of s upon s square plus a square. Plus here also there is a shift in the s with minus p, so I will write here e power minus, not minus, this is plus bt, e power plus bt into Laplace inverse of b upon s square plus a square. So this will become directly s upon s square plus a square is the Laplace transform of cos of at ut, and this will become, if there is a in the numerator, then this will become Laplace transform of sine of at ut, but a is missing here, so we have to multiply and divide in the numerator by a, so this will become e power bt into cos of at ut plus, it is b by a into Laplace inverse of e power plus bt, here also this is missing here, I will write b by a into e power bt into Laplace inverse of a upon s square plus a square, because this a and this a will cancel each other, so we can arrange these two in this way. Now this will become sine of at, this will become sine of at ut. So this x of t can be written as x of t can be written as e power bt cos of at ut, sorry, this is cos of at u of t, plus here it is b by a into e power bt sine, this is at sine at u of t, or we can take e power bt common from the both two terms. After taking the common, this will become e power bt into cos of at plus b by a, this is sine of at into u of t. This is how we can find the Laplace transform of the given signal. Now there are some more examples based on the convolution of the signal, or we will discuss here some more examples related to inverse Laplace transform, as x of s is given as it may happen that in some of the cases x of s may be given as, suppose it is given as s plus 4 upon s square plus 5s plus 6. Suppose x of s is given as a polynomial in the denominator and there is some quantity with s power 1 in the numerator. So for such type of cases we have to use the partial fraction, and we have to separate the terms so that we can apply the property of the time S shifting in S domain of the Laplace transform easily. For doing this, we have to factorize the denominator. This will become S plus 4 upon, we can write this as S square plus 3S plus 2S plus 6, or further this can be written as S plus 4 upon S into S plus 3 plus 2 into S plus 3. It means that this can be written as S plus 4 upon S plus 2 into S plus 3. This can be written in this way. Further, we can simplify it more, or we can write this in the form of partial fraction, as this can be written as A upon S plus 2 plus B upon S plus 3. So what we will have to do here, we have to do all is to get the value of A and B by using the technique of partial fraction. To get the value of A, it is very simple. I put here S equal to minus 2. Put S equal to minus 2 in this equation and hide this part. So this will become minus 2 plus 4 upon minus 2 plus 3. So this will become 2 by 1. 4 minus 2, 2, and 3 minus 2, 1, 2 by 1. So value of A will be equal to 2, and to get the value of B, put S equal to minus 3 here in this equation. Put S equal to minus 3 in this equation and hide this part. So this will become minus 3 plus 4 divided by minus 3 plus 2. So this will become 1 upon minus 1, this will be equal to minus 1. It means that value of B will be equal to minus 1. Now it means that the equation x of S can be written as 2 upon S plus 2, 2 upon S plus 2 minus 1 upon S plus 3, and Laplace inverse of x of S can be written as Laplace inverse of 2 upon S plus 2 minus Laplace inverse of 1 upon S plus 3. Further, this will be equal to e power minus 2t ut, e power minus 2t u of t minus e power minus 3t u of t. So this will be equal to e power minus 2t minus e power minus 3t u of t. This is how we can get the inverse Laplace transform of the signal by using the partial fraction method to separate the in the form of A by something plus B by something. The next one is x of S is given as 2s minus 1 . The next example says that x of S is given as 2s minus 1 upon s square plus 4s plus 8. This is how the x of S of a signal x of t is given as. So we will check if the term having s is subtracted or added with some constant or not. Then we will check if there is a square term in the denominator. So we can write it as square of something. Suppose I am writing it as s plus 2 square. So this will become s square plus 4s plus 4. So s square plus 4s is here, and instead of plus 4 it is plus 8. So I can write it, the denominator of this equation as 2s minus 1 upon s square plus 4s plus 4 plus 4. I will break this 8 as 4 plus 4. So this will become x of s from here will be equal to 2s minus 1 upon s plus 2 whole square plus 4. But if there is s plus 2 in the denominator, it means that we have to make the same s plus 2 in the numerator also. That's after then we can apply the shifting in the s domain property of the Laplace transform. To apply the property, we have to make s plus 2 in the numerator also. For that purpose, I will add s plus 2 here. So if I added 2 here, it means that 2s plus 4, it will become 2s plus 4 instead of 2s. So plus 4 is added, it means that we have to subtract 4 here also. So this will become s plus 2 whole square plus 4 in the denominator. Further, this can be written as 2 times s plus 2 upon s plus 2 square plus 4 minus, this is minus 5 upon s plus 2 square plus 4, or Laplace transform of x of s will be equal to, inverse Laplace of x of s will be equal to 2 times inverse Laplace of s plus 2 upon s plus 2 square plus 4 plus, instead of plus it is minus 5 into L inverse of 1 upon s plus 2 square plus 4. Again it is a shifting in the s domain by 2, so I have to multiply by e power minus 2t in the time domain. That's why this will become 2 into e power minus 2t Laplace inverse of s plus 2 upon s plus 2 whole square plus 4 minus, this is also shifting in the s domain by 2 unit, so I will multiply with e power minus 2t here also, and this will become Laplace inverse of 1 upon s square plus 4. Here if I am multiplying with e power minus 2t, this plus 2 will be removed from here, and this will become s upon s square plus 4. This will become s upon s square plus 4. Now this is the Laplace transform of s in the numerator also. It means that this is cos of cos of, we know that the Laplace transform of cos of omega t is equal to omega s upon s square plus omega square. Then omega square is equal to 4 here. It means that omega will be equal to plus minus 2. I can write here omega is equal to plus minus 2, or we can write it as square of 2. So this will become cos of 2t. This will become the Laplace transform of cos of 2t ut, because cos of minus 2t will be equal to cos of plus 2t. And here if we will multiply with 4 in this, if we will multiply with 4 and divide with 4, this will become sine of I have to multiply with omega upon s square, I have to multiply with 2 and divide with 2. So this will become sine of 2t ut. This will become cos of 2t ut, and if I will multiply and divide in this equation by 2, this will become 2 upon s square plus 2 square. Means omega upon s square plus omega square, which will be equal to Laplace, Laplace transform of sine of 2t. So from here x of t will become equal to x of t will become equal to 2 times 2 times e power minus 2t cos of 2t ut, cos of 2t ut, minus here it is 5 by 2 times e power minus 2t, e power minus 2t sine of 2t u of t. Or again here we can take e power minus 2t common from both the terms. After taking the common, this will become e power minus 2t 2 times cos of 2t minus 5 by 2 times sine of 2t into u of t. This is how we can find the inverse of a signal by using the properties of the Laplace transform. So after knowing how to take the inverse Laplace of a given system, we can now apply the convolution property to get the convolution of two signals in the time domain. To get the convolution of two signals in the time domain. So we know the convolution property of the Laplace transform as, if the two signals in the time domain are convolved, then they will get multiplied in the frequency domain. If two signals are convolved in the time domain, then they will get multiplied in the s domain. And similarly, if these signals are get convolved in the time domain, they will get multiplied in the frequency domain. So the convolution property of the Laplace transform says that if the Laplace transform of x1 of t is equal to x1 of s and Laplace transform of x2 of t is equal to x2 of s, then the Laplace transform of convolution of x1 of t with convolution of with x2 of t will be equal to x1 of s into x2 of s. Then this x1 of t convolution with x2 of t can be written as Laplace inverse of x1 of s into x2 of s. So there are two methods. If it is simple, if it is convenient to find the convolution in the time domain directly, we will apply the formula of convolution as x1 of t convolution of with convolution x2 of t will be equal to limit from minus infinite to plus infinite x1 tau minus infinite to t. I will put here x1 of tau x2 t minus tau d tau. This is the conventional way to get the convolution of two signals in the time domain. But if it becomes complex to get the convolution by using this technique, then there is a simple way to find the convolution, that we will get the Laplace transform of x1t, which is x1 of s here, and Laplace transform of x2t as x2 of s. We will multiply both two Laplace transforms and then we will get Laplace inverse of these two this multiplication. So to apply the convolution property of the Laplace transform, we will include one example in which x1 of t x1 of t is given as e power minus 2t ut e power minus 2t ut, and x2 of t is given as u of t minus 3. So either we can apply the conventional way to get the convolution of these two signals, or we can apply the convolution property of the Laplace transform to sorry to apply the convolution property of the Laplace transform. First we will get the Laplace transform of x1t, which is x1 of s, will be equal to 1 upon s plus 2, and we know that Laplace transform of u of t will be equal to 1 upon s, and Laplace transform of u of t minus 3 will be equal to e power minus 3s upon s, which is shifting in time domain property of the Laplace transform, or simply it is called time shifting property of the Laplace transform. Now we will multiply x1s and x2s, and this will become e power minus 3s upon s into s plus 2. This is x1s into x2s of the Laplace transform. Now what we will have to do here is we have to get the inverse Laplace transform of this function, as as because this is the x1s into x2s is the Laplace transform of x1 of t convolution with x2 of t, or it means that x1 of t convolution with x2 of t will be equal to Laplace inverse of e power minus 3s upon s into s plus 2, or from here we can see that if there is a multiplication in the s domain by e power something, it means that the signal is shifted in the time domain by the same unit as the power of exponent. So this will become Laplace inverse of 1 upon s into s plus 2, and because it is multiplied with e power 3s. It means that the signal will be shifted in the time domain as t will be equal to t minus 3 here when I will get the inverse Laplace transform. So this will be equal to Laplace transform of, also there is a shifting with s plus 2, so I can break this 1 upon s into s plus 2 as, this can be broken as 1 upon s into s plus 2 can be broken as a upon s plus b upon s plus 2, a upon s plus b upon s plus 2. By using the same technique we can find the value of a. We will put s equal to 0 in this equation and hide this. So when I will put s equal to 0, a will become equal to 1 by 2, and to get the value of b I will put s equal to minus 2 here and hide this term. So when I will put s equal to minus 2, b will become minus 1 by 2. It means that this will become x1 of t convolution with x2 of t will be equal to Laplace inverse of 1 by 2s minus 1 by 2s plus 2 minus 1 by 2 times s plus 2, where t is equal to t minus 3. Now we can separate these two terms as this x1 of t convolution of with x2 of t will be equal to 1 by 2 Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus 1 by 2 Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2, and finally when we will get the result in the form of t, I will put t equal to t minus 3. Now this will become 1 by 2 Laplace inverse of 1 by s is ut, sorry, Laplace inverse of 1 by s is u of t minus 1 by 2 into e power minus 2t ut, where t is equal to t minus 3, or further we can write it as 1 by 2 u of t minus 3 minus 1 by 2 e power minus 2 t minus 3 u of t minus 3. This will be the convolution of the given signal by using the convolution property of the Laplace transform. So this is all for this lecture. In the next coming lectures we will use the same property of the convolution to get the convolution of some more signals. Then we will go to the solution of the differential equations by using the time differentiation property of the Laplace transform. So this is all for today. Thank you.